My name is Chuck Stone. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief for Everett Fire Company Number 1. And today we'll give you a little bit of an idea of what it takes to be a firefighter and what happens in the event of a fire. So, of course, when you call 911, that call goes into Bedford County and they dispatch us at the dispatch center in Bedford. The tones go off, the call is received through a pager and also through a TV, which is above your head there. When it comes in, it shows the people's names that are responding, so you know who's coming to the call. This engine is 1,000 gallon a minute, or 1,000 gallons of water and 2,000 gallon a minute pump. This engine has been in service for 25 years and is being retired as of this. Within the next 2 weeks, it'll be retired and find a new home in Fayette City, Pennsylvania. So we'll take a tour of the truck, starting with the officer's side. This is the officer's compartment, the officer's riding seat. He has an air pack behind the seat to put on. He has all his radios over there. Those radios cover Bedford County, Fulton County, Somerset County, Huntington County, Blair County, and gives us immediate communications with those folks. We spend a lot of time in Fulton County, we spend a lot of time in Blair County and Huntington County, so we need to be able to have communication with those folks on the way in. Back here, this is the compartment where the firefighters ride, and the firefighters come in here, they take a seat. The seats all have responsibilities. If you sit in these 2 seats here, you're going to be pulling the hose lines. And if you're sitting in those 2 seats there, it's the same thing. These seats in the middle here take the irons, which are these tools that you see here for pulling, smashing, cutting.
Can you unhook one of those?
Yeah. Whoops. You can see you have the hook for pulling, the wedge or the sharp flat edge for prying, that edge for cutting, and if you have to hammer, you've got that edge for hammering, all in one tool. These tools behind it are a little bit different from the standpoint that this is all in one. These tools are 2 separate tools. This one's used for cutting and hammering. This one's used for prying and pulling. So it's just if you want to take 1 tool or you want to take 2 tools. It's your choice, you know, what you might have to do. But that's why we have 2 different people, because we can take both tools at the same time. This also has a thermal imaging camera. This is like a TV screen. You can go in when you're doing search and rescue, and you can scan the room, and if it works on heat, and it will help you locate if there's a victim in there. Also, you can put it up to the wall, and you can see if the fire's running the wall. By running the wall, I mean that there's no fire stops. It's balloon construction. The fire goes up and over. You can see where the fire is, how far it went up. Or if you have a bad receptacle in a house, you can put it on and you can see exactly which receptacle is bad. Very versatile piece of equipment, very expensive piece of equipment. So that's called a thermal imaging camera, or as the guys call them, a TIC. Each person has their own, when they put their SCBA on, each person has their own face piece, so they're able to and you can see them hanging on the lockers behind you there. The red bags are all face pieces. And you can see each guy has his own locker with his gear there. This is what they call a top-mounted pump panel, and it's a safety feature basically for the operator, because rather than being on either side near traffic, the pump operator is protected by the unit, plus in the event that the pump operator has to be the officer, and also on the fireground, he can see the fireground from where he's at up here. So these are each of the lines that they can pull off. As you see on this one, there's 2, 4, 6, 12 lines that can come off of this rig, and the operator can control each one from here, or does control each one from here. As you come along the side of the pump, this is where you hook in the hard tube if you're going to draft water, or hook on a fire hydrant. You can hook on there, or you can hook on the one in the front of the rig up there, and there's one on the other side. And what you're hooking up are those hard 6-inch suction tubes up there. They're 10 foot in length. There's 2 of them on the rig. You can, if you're drafting out of a folding tank, it's usually sitting right beside you or in front of you. You put one section in, drop it in, or if you're coming off of a hydrant, usually they'll come off the front one, and you put one section on and hook into the fire hydrant. But it's mainly to get water into the truck. This is what they call an attack line. It's an 1 3/4 hose, and you can see there's 2 of them here and there's 2 up there. These are 100-foot lines. Those are 200-foot lines. So, you know, it's just a difference in what you're going to do and where you're going with it, okay? Of course, you have your ladders, a 35-footer and a 14-footer. The 14-footer is what we call a roof ladder. The 35-foot other ladder is for getting up the side of the building or getting to the upper levels of the house. Most houses are about 12 foot between tiers, so we can reach a 3rd floor with the 35-footer, which is about the biggest buildings we have around our service area. If we need more, we go on a box alarm system, which brings in Bedford's aerial truck. Okay, this unit in this compartment has rescue tool, hydraulic rescue tool for hearse that can be used in the event of an automobile accident. This engine can also suffice as a rescue, and has your hearse rescue tools, has cutters, spreaders, and rams. This compartment doesn't have a lot in it, but it has, right now, because we took everything out as it's being sold, has your nozzles. These are 1 3/4 nozzle, pistol grip, goes on the hand line. These are just different types of reducer adapters or couplers. Different strainers that we can use, and foam. Here's another nozzle. This nozzle's in here because it goes with the foam. So it's in here with the foam.
Can you explain foam?
What's that?
Can you explain foam?
Well, foam is really it's soap. You might as well say. You put it on the fire after it's out to make sure that it doesn't rekindle. You'll see it just looks like white soap. Dove soap will do the same thing as foam will. I mean, when it's aerated, what you do, you have to, you mix air with the water, and it makes it expand and coats, and as it disintegrates, it goes down through the layers of the fire and, reaches clear to the bottom to make sure everything's out. Of course, this is a pump panel. This is just the other side of the hose load that you saw over there. Red lines are always foam lines on our rigs. Of course, the other lines are just the tack lines. And you can see these are what they call the pull loops. Put your shoulder through it, and you pull it, and you pull all 150 feet or 100 feet or 200 feet off at one time, which clears the truck. And helps you get it up to the fire without having to drag a big line behind you. It takes it in a bundle. As you feel it putting pressure on one of the lines, you drop it, go with the other two, because that way you're taking care of the full speed. Of course, this is just the other side of the back. This is the operator's panel here, operator's compartment. He has always light switches when he starts the rig. He has always light switches up there that turn all the lights on and it goes. You can see the headsets in there. They're for the officer and the operator, and there's also for each of the people in the back, so that as you're going down the road, they can communicate. The officer can tell the people, or the people can keep up to date on the changing conditions as they're being reported to the officer, so they know what they're getting into when they get there. Tarp is a 3,000-gallon folding tank. You lower that down and take the folding tank off and sit it on the ground, and the tankers, as they come to the scene of the fire, will dump into that to keep a continuous water supply going to the fire ground. If you see the 32 on the back of the engine there, and then clear on the back, and the other side is another third one, those are side dumps here, and then we have a rear dump on the back side. They're all 10-inch dump valves, so you can dump water off of this truck from the side, or you can dump it off from the rear. This is what we call an SCBA, or a self-contained breathing apparatus, meaning that we have up to 45 minutes worth of breathing air in this cylinder that they carry on their backs. Now these cylinders are about 40 pounds on your back, on top of your gear and everything else. How long it's going to last for you will depend on how good a shape you're in. If you're in very poor shape, you're not going to get the full 45 minutes of breathing air. If you're in excellent shape, you may get 50 minutes. It depends on what condition your body is in and you're in, and how secure you feel or comfortable you feel with this unit. And but it is a lot of extra weight to carry. So, our guys need to be somewhat in fairly decent shape to wear it. This also has what we call a tick, and it is built into this regular, the one I showed you in the engine was a big handheld one. This little screen here does the same thing. You take the regulator and you point it around the room, and it'll show you on that screen the same thing that the big tick will, only not in there the detail. So, they're usually not in there without a tick. This bag on the side has a breathing tube in it, and this is for the person to buddy breathe if they have to. If one of them gets in trouble and loses their air, you can hook this tube between the two tanks, and the other person that air is giving them trouble can breathe through. That's pretty much it. It's called a self-contained breathing apparatus. It's called an air truck. This unit responds wherever needed for breathing air on major incidences. Locally, it responds to Bedford, Shellsburg, Allenbank, Everett, Breezewood, automatically it responds to those on the box alarm system for structure fires. And what this unit does is fills the breathing air on the SCBA's, the bottles on the SCBA's that you saw prior to here with the film. This is the panel that sets the breathing air. There are 6 bottles in behind this panel that provide breathing air, and what it does, it comes out of here, comes back here to this. These are the fill stations. You can fill 2 bottles at a time, and these are flak, what we call flak cylinders, protectors. And we put them in there if they would happen to explode for some reason. Instead of everybody getting hit with shrapnel and so forth, it's contained to these bottles, because once you hook them up, you close it into this compartment, and that way it's all contained in these flak cylinders. But he has his brush gear, his structured firefighting gear, his SCBA face piece, his helmet, his brush helmet, his bunker pants, and his brush boots. And as you see, we talked about the stickers, the tagging in and so forth. Here are the 3 stickers. You have the yellow one that goes on the rig. You have the red one that goes to the officer in charge on the scene, and the blue one stays with you. And these are an accountability system so that the engine operator or the tanker operator or the air truck operator knows when he leaves the fireground, all these tags should be down off the hanger inside his rig, or he's either left somebody, or he needs to find that person that left their tag there. The red one, the fireground officer, when you go in the building, you give it to him. When you come back out, if you're coming out to get your air bottle filled or so forth, you pick it up from the officer so he knows you're not still in the building should there be a collapse or something and he has to start search and rescue. And of course the blue one stays with you. Notice everybody wears a safety vest. If we're out on a vest on, but they wear these all the time when they're on the fairgrounds. They carry their own flashlight. It's a smoke-piercing flashlight, so they can see inside without having to. Used to be we had to carry a hand light with us. Now we have these, and they're built right onto the bunker gear or coat, as we see here, and it's just something to make their life a little easier. Looking at the red cart is a 2-wheeled hose cart. This was part of the original equipment that Everett Fire Company started with back in 1880. We have tried to keep it. We have the nozzles and everything for it, and it was really one of the early. It was way ahead of its time, because if you look here and you see these chains. Flip the lever on the back, it lays the hose out, and when you back it up the street and flip the lever the other way, it rolls the hose back up. So I guess it was the first automatic hose reel that they had at that time. This next one over here, sorry for all the jumping from it, this is a 4-wheeled hose cart. And you can see the etching in the glass for Everett Fire Company #1. Again, it was to the fire scene to supply fire hose for them to use with the steamer. And of course, next to it is the 1880 Silsby steamer. I don't know if you get a better picture here or up on the steps here, might even give you a little better. And we do parade this from time to time for special events. Takes a lot of work to get them ready to parade.